Texas governor and GOP presidential frontrunner George W. Bush at the game. He can be a Spurs fan tonight and explain to any of his constituents in Houston or Dallas, hey, the Rockets and Mavericks didn't make it this far. Whether this costs him votes when it goes national in New York is another question.
See, Bob, what also happens, the Spurs get 4 quick points, and they get the first possession here. So it's a 3-point game. If they score, it goes to 9.
Into Duncan, guarded by Thomas. Turnaround jumper. Off the front of the rim and out of bounds to New York.
See, New York has given themselves every chance to stay around and win this game. They have got to find a way to manufacture some points. They've got to put the ball in the basket. The Spurs defense has been stifling.
Johnson hands it to Ward. An almost impossible shot. A predictable result. And a loose ball foul against New York.
That's twice now we've seen Childs go to the basket and pump fake to get a guy in the air and almost try to draw the foul rather than try to make the shot. And Bob, you look at the shooting. Allen Houston, the only guy here really shooting any kind of percentage at all. I mean, Johnson and Childs are combined 2 for 14.
Here's Mario Elie. Childs all over Kerr. Duncan into the corner for Jackson. Jumping out to get a hand on it was Camby. And it's taken by Larry Johnson.
Boy, Jaren Jackson is a marked man tonight. They are not giving him one clean look at the basket.
Houston with a tough fadeaway.
Oh, Allen Houston, take your time. You realize you got a mismatch. You go over the top of Steve Kerr, and we got a 5-point game, Bob, we talked about in the open. Can the Knicks hang around? Can they do it with their defense? And can they steal it late? They're right there with under 10.5 minutes to go.
19 now for Allen Houston. Duncan trying to follow his own shot, and a whistle. Duncan will come to the free throw line.
Allen Houston, just take your time. Get to where you want to get on the floor, get your rhythm, elevate, and shoot the jump shot. A sweet shooting jumper by Allen Houston that brought his team back to 5. And we talked about no offensive rebounds for San Antonio at halftime. Well, I know Tim Duncan has 4 already in this second half, which has been critical. He's given his team a chance to get some baskets to try to fight off New York.
The foul, meanwhile, was on Kurt Thomas, and that was his 4th. Find something to criticize about Tim Duncan. He is not a particularly good free throw shooter, although he hits that one.
Well, he was terrific against the Lakers. Remember, he shot the ball very well and then did not shoot the ball well at all against Portland. You see game 1, 70%. He was 7 of 10, but it's going to be critical because they're not going to give him any layups. And you know what? It'll be interesting to see whether Popovich rests him. David Robinson getting a good rest right now. Duncan Young, can he play the whole 4th quarter? Is he going to need a blow?
In the regular season, he was under 70% from the line, but he made them both here. Here's Childs. Kurt Thomas. They need more of that. Their big guys able to step out and hit the jumper.
That's that little medium-range jump shot that you just have to make when you play San Antonio. That's the one they say we're going to give you. You're going to have to make it to beat us.
That was Kurt Thomas's first bucket. He scored 13 points in game 1. Avery Johnson finds Mario Elie. His set shot from the head of the key is good.
That dribble penetration just enough for Mario Elie's man to help out. Gets his feet together in that little shoulder set shot.
Childs lost it. Taken by Malik Rose. Here comes Mario Elie steaming to the hoop. And there's a foul whistled by Joey Crawford. Larry Johnson raises his hand in disgust.
When you're playing from behind, you've got to played good basketball, solid basketball. The help there from Larry Johnson. Mario Elie steps in. The next possession down, a turnover. Elie drives it hard to the basket, gets the foul, trying to push this lead back up to 9.
And it's the third foul on Larry Johnson.
Well, Tim Duncan has been the guy tonight. 21 points, and he's come up with critical baskets just when they need him most. No offensive rebounds for the Spurs in the first half. He gets the first one of the game in a three-point play. First team all-league defense. It looks like he's got a layup. You take that out of there. Out of the double team, you go back in with great patience and use the backboard. And at the end of the third quarter, sneaks in and a big basket to give them a 7-point lead going into the fourth. In my mind, this is why he is the best player in the game today. Obviously, all of his damage done foul line and under.
If you're looking for a reason why, comparatively, the Spurs have struggled in the second game of all 4 playoff series, Jaren Jackson has been held scoreless tonight in Game 2. In 4 Game 2s in the playoffs, he has 1 total point. In Games 1, 3, and 4, and the Spurs haven't had a series go any longer than 4 games, he's averaging easily into double figures.
Well, Bob, look at the team now New York's got on the floor. These guys have combined 3 for 20. Do they have enough offense to come back?
Down by 8 with 9 on the clock. That won't help. Stolen by Rose.
So you run them into a shot blocker, you leave your feet, and a turnover. Those are deadly.
Duncan gets it back from Jackson. Now it's Avery Johnson. Short with the 20-footer. Loose ball battle. And it looks like the foul is going to be on Malik Rose, who will definitely stick his nose in there for you. Tonight, when the game is over, it's your late local news, and then the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, Robert Wagner on the program, and Mike Myers is on Conan O'Brien tonight. Larry Johnson backing in against Rose, turning and hitting, plus the foul. Larry Johnson just glad to see someone leaning over his shoulder who isn't 7'1".
I think you got to get David Robinson back in the game right now. They need another shot blocker, and here he comes. He's got a big rest. Malik Rose did a nice hustle job, but Larry Johnson can post him up. He knows it, so now David Robinson comes in with that second shot blocker. Sprewell for Houston. Allen Houston, if I'm the coach, I'm saying, Allen, you got maybe 30 seconds to a minute at the most, and then I got to get you back in the game.
Johnson can't complete the three-point play. The bucket a minute ago was just his second of the game. He hit a three-pointer in the game's first minute, missed 8 in a row, and finally hit a basket just then. Here's Duncan. He was fouled.
You don't want to reach on him because Camby was coming in there to block that shot. The reach-in is what got Kurt Thomas the foul. Camby was going to come back in there from behind, so that's 5 now on Kurt Thomas. But I think he's got to stay on the floor because with Allen Houston down, if you start bringing in somebody that can't score, you're going to be playing 3-on-5 again. That's what got them in trouble in Game 1. So, Allen, you better get your breath quickly and get back out there.
In Game 1, we showed you that contingent that chartered in from the Virgin Islands, some 160 supporters of Tim Duncan. They told us his nickname on the island is Fish and Fungi. Fish and fungi being a popular dish there. Fungi, kind of a cornmeal confection. Sprewell with the spin move, goes for the slam, but Robinson is in his face, and now Robinson pleads his case as he's hit with the foul.
No flippers when you go in here. You go in, and you go in with reckless abandon. Sprewell attacks the basket. He's going to windmill dunk this. Here comes David Robinson. That's twice now that I think Sprewell's got the benefit of some calls with Robinson going up, look like he got a piece of the basketball. But you know what, Bob? When you're aggressive, you'll get those calls.